tutorial. Today we're going to talk you through how you can design your own Scalextric cards based on the drawings that you've already been doing. So I'm just going to click into my documents and you'll see there's a folder there called blank block. We're going to double click on the blank block to open it up and we get our block here. This is the block for designing the card. So what we need to do first is add the image that you've drawn to this screen so we can trace around it. So I'm just going to click here and click on isometric so we can see our car base in 3D. We then go up to view, model display and click on images. When that loads up, the toolbar at the top has changed. You'll see we've got a button here which says import. So I need to press import. I then have to click on the plane. Now, sometimes it's tricky to click on the plane here. We're looking for this one called front. Instead, we can click front over here. When that comes up, we click on working directory and there's the escort picture that I've drawn. So I'll double click on that. It's going to load in. Now, it's a bit tricky to do things from this orientation. So we click that button there and we're going to click front. So we're viewing it from the front so we can see the car we designed. I just hold down my left mouse button and I can drag that. I need to resize it until it roughly fits the proportions of what I've traced out. So about there. We might have to miss this little bit off the bottom there and change that slightly, but that's fine. So when you're happy with anything, anytime on Creo, you always press the green tick. So we press the green tick. From our top display here, we're going to go back to model, which is just there. So I click once on that, and then we're going to be using the extrude feature. Now this is the feature we're going to use most in this tutorial. So I'm going to press extrude. I'm going to click the word front again from the model tree. So this is our model tree here. So we click front on there. And we're now on a 2D sketching plane. So we can now trace around this image. Now the best way to do this is with the line tool. So we click on that there, just below the word annotate. I'm going to snap to that end there. So I'll just move my mouse and it will snap to it. All I'm going to do is click, click, and roughly trace out. I can use my scroll wheel now if I want to zoom in. So I'm just going to change that bit slightly there. Down to the front. We'll come in a little bit and then we'll bring it back there. Now you can see this is what we call the tail. I need to connect that to the other end and I'm left with another tail. To get rid of that, you click the scroll wheel. It now disappears. We go up to where the select button is, so that's up there. I click on that and what should happen is the shape I've just drawn will fill in. So you can see it's filled in. It doesn't matter which colour, as long as it's filled in, or shaded in I should say, we're okay. We then press the OK button and it's gone orange. This means it's in 3D. If I hold down the middle mouse to the scroll wheel and twist, you can see the profile's extruded out. Now it's far too wide at the moment. So I'm going to go up to the number there and I'm going to type in 25. See what that looks like. So 25, we'll do 26. And I can press OK. And that's now created the bottom half of the cup. Now, time we've created this bottom half of the cup, all I'm doing is holding down my scroll wheel to twist this around. We're going to shell this out. So we're going to make this bottom part hollow. So we go up to shell, which is there. We click on this surface, so it's the back, and you can see it says 1.9. I'm just going to change that to 2.5. Press enter. Oh, it doesn't like 2.5, let's try 2. As long as it's above 2, we should be okay. So 2 is fine there. And it's now shelled, so if I just hold it there, you can see, if you look through the sketch that you've put on there, you can see that that's now all hollow. So perfect. I'm now going to repeat the extrude process again and draw the top half of the car. So again, it's the same tools. We press extrude, we click on front, and I'm going to trace out where my mouse is going now, that blue outer line. So I'm going to press line, find a point there, draw once, click, click. I'll match it up so they meet at the same point this time. And then just along the bottom here, there's my tail, middle mouse to clear that. We check it's okay by pressing select. We can see it's coloured in. I'm happy, so I press the green tick. And I've spun it around. You can see that's coming out. Now this time I'm going to make this slightly less. So 24. And press OK. So that's put the roof on. What I'm going to do is just going to slightly angle this roof. So I'm going to press the chamfer button here. I'm going to click this top edge. And I'm going to pull that down a bit. So say 5 there. What I want to do is change it. So at the moment, if I spin it around that way, you can see it's taken 5mm off both sides. If I change it to D1, D times D to D1 times D2, I can drag these independently. And we can just put a little bit of an angle on the side of the car there. When I'm happy, I press OK. So we've now got the basic of the car. We're going to put some windows in it. That's easy enough to do. And we need to cut out our wheel arches. And then we can look at adding some rounds onto this to make it look a bit more aerodynamic. So we'll start with the rounds. So I'm just going to click the round tool. And I'll click the top edge here. Now I'm going to set that to 2 in the radius up there. So where my mouse is now, that's where I've changed it to. And I hold the control key down and I'm going to click these other edges. So I'm going to try 3. So you can just play about with this, or you can drag it there until you're happy. So actually 6 looks quite good. I might even hold the control key and click 6 on them parts there. So I've now got the rounded portion at the top of the car. So it's time to do the side. Now when it comes up like this, it's basically too big. So we'll try 2. We might have to go down to 1. It might be a case of I've got to actually click. So hold the control key and click all of them. And then I'll try and see if I can get 2, 3. So that will let me do a 3 round down that side. So I'm happy with that. I'm now going to round the wheel arches. So I'm going to click control in there, control in there. We'll do a 5. So we can press 5. We're then going to round, if we can, the bottom here. So we've created a bit like a skirt effect on the bottom there. I'm only going to take that to about 3. We'll do the back as well at 3, and we'll do the front at 3. Press OK. So we've rounded off that front part. I'm now going to round this front corner just a little bit, and I'll do the back one. If it doesn't like it, we can change the number. So try changing that to 3. If it doesn't like it, we just press undo. So the undo button's up there. So we'll just round off this front one. Now you can continue rounding it off. I can round off the front here, for example. It is entirely up to you how much you round it off, but I'm just going to stop there for the moment. So I've got my car design now. I'm going to cut out my windows and my wheel arches. So to start off with, we'll do the windows. So we've clicked extrude again, so that was a bit quick, so I'll just go back. So extrude again is at the top there, and we're going to click front again. Now what I'm going to do for my wheel arches, I'm going to use the project button. So I'm going to click project, wheel arches, I mean windows, project. So I've projected that part. I'm going to project the bottom parts there. And then all I'm going to do is draw a line there and click. Let's have a line like that. Now at the moment, when I press the select button, it's not going to shade in. And we can actually see we've got a few bits missing there. So there's a gap here, so we just have to fill that gap in. And then it'll tell me this middle section is incorrect. So I need to press the delete segment key, which is up there, and just cut out that middle point. So you can now see the windows are there. I'm just spinning it around on the middle mouse button, press OK, and automatically it cut them out. So you've now got windows. If you wanted to, you could add, just as we did before, some rounds. There might have to be small ones, but you could add some rounds to these parts here if you wanted to. I'll cancel that, I'll leave that up to you. So we've got the rounds on there. We just need to add the front and back window and cut out our wheel arches. And it's the same tool again, it's extrude. We'll do the wheel arches first, so we press front. And all I'm going to do is do the offset this time, which is there. I click the wheel arch, so this line here, and I'm going to put in -1. And I'll do the same at the other one. Because the arrows changed direction, I can just do 1 this time. Didn't like all of that, so that one's going to have to be -1. I might have to do this one a few times. -1. Now once we've got the two semicircles, I'm going to click at the bottom and go straight down. When I get my line at the bottom, I'm just going to click that off. Do the same on the other side. You'll see that equal sign appears. That means both lines are the same. I can join them up. I'm going to do the same on the front. Join them up and press OK. Right, so sketch is incomplete. So what it means is there's a little mistake up here. So I'm going to press no. And all I'm going to do is just delete these parts. Go back to the arc tool. You shouldn't have this problem. If you do, give one of us a shout and we'll help you. And I'll just draw that arc back in. So it's all coloured in fine. Spin it around. You can see it's adding material. We want to remove it. And press OK. So we've now got our wheel arches. All that's left to do is add the front and the back windscreens. So this time when we press extrude, I click the surface. So I'm clicking the actual surface I want to put the window on. And all I'm going to do is use the project tool, project, 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 project. That should then colour in. Press OK. We can see it's extruding out, so I'm just spinning it around with the mouse button. I'm going to remove material, and below depth, I'm going to click on reference and just click this surface here and press OK. We'll now repeat that process on the back window. So we press extrude, click there, use the project tool to project that shape, press OK. You can see it's in 3D, remove material, and then click to reference, and it's that bottom one there, and press OK. So now that we've made one side of the car, all we're going to do is mirror the opposite side. So from the model tree on the left hand side, my mouse is going to go over and just click blank block, and then from the top bar we're going to click on mirror, which my mouse just clicked on, and then we select the front surface and press the green tick, and that's the car completed. So make sure you've saved it and then give one of us a shout and we'll help you get on to the next part. Thanks for watching.